Yo, what is up, everyone? Tachi here. So, the Round Dust official book thing finally came out of maintenance. I see now that the six double skills are here. So, let's look at those and see what's been changed. So, first up is Alec. Yeah, minor thing. You actually have to click on the language down here and switch it to Korean, otherwise, it will not show up. So, first things first. I see that he does gain one extra range and he gets two upgrades to his fixed damage, which honestly I don't know if he really needed. Um, he kind of already one-shot everything anyways, so yeah. I suppose against like certain units, maybe he might need the little extra, but I think he would one-shot. I'm pretty sure he was one-shotting Velfern and Mamo anyways. But I guess he has more damage now on top of the extra range. What else? So his attack increased, went up from 75% to 100%, as well as increasing the attack he gains per turn to 4% instead of 2%. HP consumption is the same, still everlasting, which means that the buff lasts forever. Unlike certain characters like Eden, Yunrong, they only last like 50 something turns. And then his, yeah, I don't think this really matters because if he got hit, he's probably gonna die. I don't think this is gonna make too much of a difference at plus 15. Yeah, overall, I'd say he's pretty okay right now. He does seem a little bit stronger, but I think the vast majority of his increased usage is probably just going to come from the fact that he gains an extra tile. So that makes him a longer range than Eden. That's definitely going to have an effect on the meta, especially with the 6 double event coming out, which lets you pick a +9, like an actual like +9 6 double. So you're not really, you don't really have to invest too much. You really just need to max out soul gear, which is maybe like what, like 1200 ancient coins. It's like a month or two worth, and then like two supporters. That's not much. Now I would say if you're gonna go with him, I don't really know if that plus 15 is worth it. I think honestly even plus 12 is enough. And maybe if you're having trouble with some other units that I'm just like not noticing, like if maybe if he really needs that extra damage to kill mammals or something, then maybe go 13, 14. But that 15 I don't think is really that necessary. Honestly, I don't think it is. Onto the next unit. The next unit, let's look at Angelica. So first things first, I was told that Angelica was turned into a skip unit, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to check. Oh yeah, look, it does say skip, which is interesting, huh? I guess that's not even just a change in like the skills, right? They actually like, did they change her base form from a front to a skip? That's interesting. Honestly, I can't really tell whether that's a better thing for her or not. I suppose since skip is just generally like a skip is just something that feels more useful usually, especially if you combine it together with another unit that hits front. Like in this case, this update will come after Dalvi, so I'm pretty sure Dalvi is a front hitter, so you could pair them together and Dalvi will take care of killing certain units like Lillian, and then you can just have Angelica as well. So I feel that that would be fairly good. Now the problem with obviously with running two units like that is the fact that you would have no multi-hit, but that's a separate story. So plus 11, first thing she gets is greater damage, enemy max HP. Gotcha. So a slight increase in damage at plus 11, and then her shield upgrades quite a bit. Damage received 70%. Okay, so first thing that I'm noticing is that she doesn't consume HP anymore. And she gets an increase in defense 65% before battle begins. So first things first, just the fact that she doesn't consume HP anymore, at least I don't see it here, just that alone is already a pretty big buff. Because that is actually pretty annoying for her, especially since she's actually a fairly tanky unit despite being a warrior. 70% damage reduction, still 70%, but you see that it upgrades to 85%. That is fairly strong. That'll make her actually like quite difficult to kill for certain units. Obviously other than like Wilhelmina. But most units will have difficulty killing her with the defense and the damage received combined. And then obviously on top of that, she also curses and she also removes buffs as well. So that's quite strong. And then at plus 15, you see she also gets an extra range. So now she's not just a one hitter, she hits 2 spots. And she does hit for quite hard. Now she's obviously not going to one shot like Alec, but remember that she's more utility. She's just honestly there for the prohibit. She does quite a lot of damage, so obviously she's gonna one shot like DPS units, other than like Levia, but she's mostly there for the prohibit, and that extra range will help her do her job better. On top of being like fairly difficult to kill now, it's fairly interesting. Obviously I'm gonna go for her, not because I need her in my team, but because I think she's the cutest girl and I have her swimsuit costume now, so I really don't have any reason to not go her. Yeah, just something I'd like to make note of real quick. I did see some pictures going around that this skill, let me actually translate it for you guys. This skill actually does do like straight up just max HP base damage, so similar to Levia. So this is actually quite strong. It's actually stronger than I gave it credit, but before the cut obviously. So do keep that in mind. But based on the reading of this, it seems like she's still going to be losing out to people like Lillian that have defense, because this says it only ignores enemy damage reduction. So things like Levia's damage reduction would get blocked with this, and she would just kill her anyways. But it seems she's going to have the same problem that something like Eden would, but she's a skipper. So keep that in mind when you put that. But I think I'm gonna have to move her up. I think she's a solid like second, third place right now. I still feel that Alec is slightly above her, so I'm gonna put Alec at number 2 for now until we get proper translations. Now let's look at Granhildr. Now obviously Granhildr, for those unaware, if you guys do not play on Asia server, Granhildr is primarily used in something called a Grand Deck, which is a team comp that has Rafi, whatever her name is, Granhildr, and other such units. It was quite strong in Asia meta, but it hasn't been used too much in global server. I think I saw one person using it a couple months ago, and they just like, I think they quit because I haven't seen it since. So maybe this will be able to help her out a little bit. Plus 11, she gains a slight increase in damage, 35%. Healing stays the same. Okay, so she's gaining the same kind of skill that that makes Celia so strong. It's actually, I think this might even be stronger than Cecilia's. Each turn she gains 12% max HP, and she gains instant recovery when she gets hit. So this skill right here will let her survive like the side hits from Levia. That alone, which already makes her strong. Now the problem with that is, even though it sounds like, oh, she can survive Levias from the side now, the problem with that is that she is also a taunting unit. So if anyone's gonna get hit by Levia, it's gonna be her, and she's still gonna die to Levia regardless. Unless it's a low skill. I know, actually, even a low skill Levia should be able to kill her, huh? I would have to math that out, but I'm pretty sure even a plus 0 Levia should kill her. Now, she does gain a 12 turn taunt, so the duration goes up from 10 to 12. But that's about it here. And then her reflect goes up quite a lot. That's actually a pretty decent reflecting difference. Okay. So that's actually pretty strong. But I don't see it bringing back Grand Deck. At least not on global. I don't see it coming back. Because Grand Deck still requires too much investment for global server. Maybe in Asia it will come back, but not in global. Because the thing with Grand Deck is that you need Celia and you need Rafithia. So that's 3 6 devils that you need. All of them plus 10 or above. That's just not viable for global at the moment. All right, let's look at the next one, Celia. It's good to see. Okay. All right. So plus 11, her curse gets slightly better. She gains the remove buff skill. And then 12 through 15. Actually, wow, that's quite strong. 12 through 15 are pure damage based, it seems. She gains an attack buff. When an enemy with the marker dies, your attack increases. Yeah, this is a translation error. So your attack increases when you kill an enemy. I'm assuming is what that's saying. That could be quite strong, but that's 100%, 100%, 125%. What is a reduction in 125% of an enemy's base stats? What would that even be? I guess it's for the crit damage mostly, because they already, this 100% of this would already reduce crit chance down to 0. And then obviously the attack portion goes up. 36 turn debuff. That's pretty strong. Oh, and then she's getting the damage received buffed, 125%. And that's such a large square too for 125% damage increase. That's pretty interesting. But I think Nartas is going to be a bigger issue, honestly. Nartas just seems like a stronger character to begin with. And look at those tiles, man. 3, 6, insane. So, let's see. He gains an upgrade for his... What does he even get? Immune? Immune damage reduction. So his damage reduction on his immunity. It'll help him survive. He is pretty squishy, so I can see that being useful. And then he gains 4 damage upgrades. That's pretty crazy. 250% additional. Interesting. 250% additional to 350%. The armor's already a thing. Makes a casting state of magical. Oh, hell no. Makes a casting state of magic complete casting. No. Oh, no. Yo, guys, what the fuck? Oh my god. Oh, that's gonna completely change everything. Dude. This guy one-shots so many. Look at that range. 6 range. 6 range and he insta-cast spells. Do you guys realize how ridiculous that is? Ignore damage caused. So he ignores enemy armor and deals additional damage. Oh, that's gonna be crazy. What the hell? How? Let me go confirm that he ignores armor, because I actually don't know what his base set is. I'm looking at his skills on the other wiki, and this skill right here looks like a completely different skill from the one that you see on his actual, like, his skills are different. So I think they actually reworked some of these characters. I think they reworked some of these characters, because he didn't have, at least I don't see it there, he didn't seem to have this ignore taunting thing. Or at least I don't see it. Like, it's not here, right? I don't see an ignore taunt as part of his skill set. There's no ignore taunt. And then he has ignore taunt here for forever, mind you. So it's already stronger than, say, Leto's. And he gains insta casting, man. And he ignored defense, because I don't think the translation would be so poor that it would say enemy armor, like, out of nowhere. So I think they reworked him like how they made Angelica skip. So he gains not only he gains ignore taunt, he still keeps his 6 range, he gets a stronger ability to nuke and instacast. So even though he's a mage, he not only prolongs your chain, but he also just instantly goes. Which I suppose since he instantly goes, he doesn't prolong your chain anymore in chain supporting, but that's still fine because he ignores taunt. So you don't actually need him to go like turn 6 or something because of a Leckless or a Walia. You don't need that anymore because he's gonna ignore the taunt anyways. That's quite strong. And then obviously he has buff strip with prohibit on. That's pretty strong. I think he's gonna take it. I think he's gonna take it as the strongest unit, like by far. That's pretty insane, man. And then obviously Rafi. So wow, look at that range. Yo, look at that ginormous cube. What is that even? What is that, 5x5? That's crazy, man. So she gains damage reduction on self. Wait, is this damage reduction on everyone? I think this is just self. I'm gonna assume this is self. This looks like self damage reduction. So self damage reduction. She gains increased range. Her shield goes up from 16 turns to 20 turns. Quite long. And then it also goes up to 24 turns. That's even longer. Insane. Okay. And her, let's look at plus 15. Increase friendly damage, so her increase damage increase. Increase, I'm assuming this is crit chance, crit damage. Allies counterattack additional damage to enemy general. This looks like a reflect of some sort. Let me go check. So boost to attack and enemy bestows to enemies who attack. So this does look like a reflect. So she gains an attack increase, a crit chance increase, a crit damage increase, and she makes a stronger reflect now. So her reflect is now for 100% attack damage, right? Enemy attack times 100%, which means that units like, say, Eden are going to kill themselves, usually. And that goes from 65% to 100%. And then let's check her plus 10. 50% increased damage to the target. Yeah, the translation of this feels kind of weird, but I'm assuming this is increased attack for your allies, and this is increased crit chance, and this is increased crit damage. So that is quite a large buff in attack, but the crit damage, yeah, so she's just gaining like a lot bigger buffs. I don't know if this can be removed, which is a pretty big thing right now in global meta, is everyone's going for Michaela and Stella because their buffs can be removed and they provide just enough. Like they provide the perfect stats that you need for any attacker. So I don't know if she has a place in the current meta, but I suppose we'll see. Maybe when we get proper translations of these skills, I can like weigh in on it a little bit better. But right now, I'm gonna have to hand it to Nartas. Nartas is by far the strongest unit in this update, and I think I'm gonna have to give second place to Alec, just because he was already the strongest 6 devils to begin with. I think Nartas wins with Alec and probably Celia or Angelica in third. And I honestly, I think that Granhildr is just like last place. I don't think she's gonna come back in global meta. But that's it for this update. Hopefully you guys found this information to be useful. Remember, in about 2 months, give or take, maybe like 2.5, 1.5, somewhere around there, we are going to be able to pick up one of the 6 devils of your choice at +9 max level 6-star awaken. So hopefully this information is actually really useful for you to know what you should be doing. I would highly suggest if you were planning on picking a 6 devil like yourself, like actually picking one right now for 1500 ancient coins, I would not do that. I would just go in on Octo if you have one, put in your books into them, and hopefully by that time you will have +10 Octo unit ready for when 6 devils drop, so that you will have 2 set of strong units just for you to do so well on them. Or even better, save some of your ancient coins for their soul gear. Especially if you already know what unit you want, you could just save now and just wait until they drop. Maybe we'll get even better buffs or better translations, and maybe it'll swing, and maybe Nartas won't be that strong. Maybe it'll be Angelica that's OP now, and then you won't buy it ahead of time. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit the like button. If you guys want to see more content about this or other games, even anime, hit the subscribe button. Either way, I'm out. Have a nice day.